Good evening, guys. How's everybody doing? Hi, Smudge. Hi, Big Taro. Milky Esquire. I'm assuming you're Milky from the Caps on Lock Discord. Hi, the Smurge. Surgeon even. I'm waiting for the CU80 to arrive. Oh, very nice, very nice. Yes, I have a CU80 PCB over on the far side over there, and I've been doing a little bit of a couple of little jobs for him. So I'm just going to sort out my overlay quickly. Thank you very much for the follows. I have a guy that has followed with a bunch of Chinese text, so I have no idea how to say it. Thank you for KSZYXIUU for the follow yesterday. Thank you very much. Hi Ski44, how you doing? Oh, bloody hell. Hi Milky Esquire, thank you very much for the follow. Just going to wait for a few more people to come in. This is the first time I'm playing the Patience game with Keep Stuff, Modo, and the ATEC. It's going to be long. Thanks for the follow, Dui Vu. Is it Dui? Are you Vietnamese? Is it Dui? Dui. Oh, thank you very much, Big Tower, for the follow. I've got on next week's stream, I have got an ATEX to build, possibly, depending on the build order of things. But Modo is a good choice. Thank you very much for the follow, Bruno and Draddeg. I'm legit dying inside, waiting for keycaps and KL openers and the CU80 kit. Dying. Never waited for a package so long. So this one here is the. It's got some lube on it, but this board here is the Mech 27 V2, and there's people still waiting for that in a 3-year group buy. So count yourselves lucky. Count yourselves lucky. Are you building with switches and keycaps too? Yes, yes I am. And you're going to have a choice actually later in the stream. I'm going to possibly get a straw poll up in a little bit, but let me show you guys. Let me show you guys some bits and pieces. So what we've got here is we've got the beautiful CU65 PCB. Hi Glacier, how you doing? So this is the CU65 PCB. I've been holding it, mucking about with it this afternoon. So there's a few fingerprints on it, but this is the hot swap, a hot swap board, and so you can see the makers of it here. So obviously Caps Unlocked, it's the CU65, and it was made by Sodaman, Andy, and Guti. And so this PCB has been designed by Andy, A. Holland, and you can see that it's got a bunch of hot swap sockets on it where you might not normally expect. So you can see round here there's loads, there's a bunch round here in this corner as well, and that's because this PCB does a dual layout. So you can actually do, unlike a normal hot swap board where you'd have to buy an ISO or an ANSI, this does both ISO and ANSI in one board. And I also believe that it does 6.25U and 7U bottom rows as well. So it's kind of nuts with the amount. I'll bring it up a little bit so you guys can see it a little bit better. Sorry, the camera is going to freak out here a little, but you can see just how many hot swap sockets are on there. And you can see up in this corner here, you've got in the middle here, you've got standardized backspace, and then you've got split backspace here. This is all your what would be your ANSI till, ANSI backslash, ANSI enter. This is your ISO. This is your ISO non-standard hash key. Sorry, I'm just going to catch up. Thank you, Zonet, for the follow. Exonet, is that how you say it? Yes, hot swap with multiple layouts. Tell me, does it come with USB-C cable, or should I pick one up? At the moment, I believe that it's not coming with a USB-C cable. There's been some problems with the manufacturer of it, but it was only a cheap add-on, I believe. I don't know if Caps Unlocked. I believe that he might well be coming to join us this evening, so you guys can have a look at that. So he might be able to answer some more questions. Is that the world's first dual hot swap layout? I believe that it's the first 65%. I don't believe it's the first one that's ever been done. I believe that the 40%, the one by Evan, I can't think of his name, the minivan had dual bottom rows, I believe. Is there enough room for both ANSI and ISO left shift? Oh, sorry, yes, yeah. So you can probably see, so I'm just trying to get it into focus. You can see down here, this is these two at the top. These are your ISO shifts, and this one here is your ANSI. And you can also see here, these two bits, this is your stepped and unstepped caps lock. So quite an interesting way of doing it, to be fair, and a very inventive way of doing it, of sort of flipping them upside down when they need to be. That's fine. It just makes sure what to get. Yeah, no. I've always gone for custom cables. I've got Pexon's custom cables here. So, is the front faceplate detachable from the base? No, it is not. So what I'll do is I'll put this here for now, and you guys can. I'll show you this. So this is the actual case itself. So the case, I haven't got any screws in it except for the weight holding on. So this is the actual case itself. So you can see there's going to be a couple of fingerprints here and there from where I've been hand holding it, and obviously it's not screwed together, so it's going to come apart a bit. You have the option of stepped caps in this too. Yes, yeah, you do. So you've got stepped and unstepped caps. Yeah, those are expensive. I'm already finding it hard to justify £200 on a keyboard. Yeah, I mean, you can. Sky's the limit, but this is a great board to get into with them, with keyboards. So this is the actual case. There's going to be I've got fingerprints all over it. I've got normally very oily hands, so you can see the beautiful CU65 logo here. It's really nicely made. It's got a nice little finish to it, and I've very poorly put this on beforehand, but this is the case. And so you can see that the actual plate is part of the case. So let's take this bottom piece off. So you can see the plate is actually built into the case, and you've got these little standoffs that sit about. And so that's the really nice anodization finish. You can't. I've been looking at it this afternoon, and I've seen on other ones that you get like little streaks. There's no streaks whatsoever in this. It's really nicely finished. Yeah, it is really nice. I'm going to try and bring it up to the camera a little bit more so you guys can see it. But look at that beautiful anodization. They've done a really, really nice job on it. So, sorry, I'll just say hello to people. Hi Vogon, how you doing? Jay Kun, thank you very much. It was you who gave me the follow earlier, so I've now got a name for you. The metal foot bar isn't going to scratch my desk or anything. So the little metal foot bar actually comes with a rubber strip. Yeah, I very poorly put the rubber strip on here earlier, but it gives a decent hold to the board on the desk, so it shouldn't scratch your desk at all. I can see myself painting the logo in the back. There's an awesome video teaching how to do this. Let's see if I can pull it out. Yeah, I believe that Jay from Top Black has done this sort of thing. So you're doing, I can't think of the name of it. It's an infill technique, sort of like an acrylic, or I can't think of what it's called. You should be. There's more than enough dip here for you to be able to infill it if you guys really want to. PCB. Oh, Andy. Yes. That was from Andy. Gotta go. I'll watch later. Thanks. Yep. If you guys are only popping in for a little bit, if you use the command in chat ! YouTube, you'll go to my YouTube channel. I've got all my previous build streams in there, but the VOD of this will be uploaded to there. So yeah, if you guys want to watch that later, there will also be a typing test of this. I'm going to do a couple of typing tests for this board. So tonight's build, I'm going to move on to this bit now. So tonight's build, I'm going to do 2 builds because it's hot swap. We're going to be building it with some Gateron inks, and then you guys are going to have the choice between I've got some T1s or some Holy Pandas. So you guys get to choose. I'm going to put up a straw poll in a little bit to see what you guys want me to build into it. But we're going to start off with a linears build first of all, and then we're going to go from there. And so there's a couple of little mods that some of you might be interested in knowing. If you're new to keyboards and you want to get the most out of what you're building the first time, there's a couple of very, very simple mods that I'm going to show here that will just exemplify the board a little bit more. Okay, so I have made a boo-boo already. Apparently this strip is meant to go on the front of the board, so yes, haven't paid attention to what Caps Unlock was saying, so I'll move that in a little bit. So what we're going to do is I'm going to move the keyboard out of the way for now, because we're not going to need the keyboard straight away. Oh, and I will show you one last thing. One thing that has been added. This is a nice piece of dampening foam that is going to be put in behind the PCB just to reduce any sort of ping that there is. So what we're going to do is we are going to start with the stabilizers. So these are genuine cherry screw-in stabilizers. Yeah, big tarot that it was meant to go in at the front. It was meant to go in at the front. I believe Caps Unlocked is watching at the moment because he's just dinged me on Discord. So if he is watching, Caps, jump into the Twitch chat and you might be able to answer some questions that pop in. Smudge RL asks hockey tape mod. Yes, I will be hockey tape modding this, and it is something that everybody can do and should do with any board. I've done it on this one. I've done it with the boards in the back here. I'm going to do it with this one as well. It's something that definitely helps it out. Does the foam come with the board? Caps has just answered that. So, oh, thank you very much, Caps, for the follow there. Caps has just answered that. Yes, it comes with the board, and so it's a nice addition. It's something that's going to reduce the overall ping of the board. I've got foam in this one, and I've got foam in a couple of these back here, and it does help. It does really help. So, but what we're going to start with is we're going to start with these. So you can see on the underside here that there's 4 little legs. I'm going to take this off. To grab my little tweezer. So let's see if we can get it to show it. So you should be able to see that there's 4 little legs. I'm trying to get the camera to focus. Come on, camera. So you can see there's 4 little legs on the underside there. And so I'm going to clip a couple of them. A couple of them have got like a little little notch that's coming off of it, and I'm going to chop these legs off. And the reason for these legs is so that when it hits the PCB, it sort of flexes a little bit, and that flex can normally create a little bit of a mushy feel. And so what I do is I slice them off and I put hockey tape underneath so that you don't get that horrid slap. Any chance of a sound test with and without the foam difference? Yeah, I can do a sound test. I'm going to do that later in the stream for you guys once this is built up. Big Tarot asks, are there any CU65 extras? I'm in for the CU80, would love to get one if possible. That is a question that Caps will be able to answer for you. And Caps, will there be foam for the CU80? I know that there's been some discussion about it, but I'll let him answer that one. So what I've got is I've got some straight snips, and so I'm just going to pop these little legs off, and I'm going to try and show you once again. You can see that there's 2 little very spiky legs. You can see the one there at the back that's slightly lifted, and then the one on the other side that's slightly lifted there as well. I'm going to chop both of those off. They almost act as like stabilizer legs. Obviously, if any of you do have any questions at any point during the stream, I'm happy to answer them. If you're interested in anything that I've done previously or anything like that, you can use the command !YouTube, and that will take you to my YouTube channel, where I've got previous build streams and typing tests that you're more than welcome to watch. If you're interested in what I'm building at the moment, there is the build command !build, and so you'll be able to see exactly what I'm using here and what I'm using to build it, and the combination of maybe the switch, the lubes and stuff like that. You can also use !lube as well. So I'll just show you what I've done here. So now you can see that there's only two little legs, and so these are the two more solid legs. These don't actually cause any sort of mushy feel, so I'm just going to go along and chop these all off. I'm going to be building the board in ISO this evening. I am an ISO user, and so it's only fitting that I actually build it in ISO. Does that holder hold switch stems as well? Yes, it does. So I got given this as a little gift from one of the guys in MKUK, and he 3D printed it. There's a couple of designers that are on MKUK who 3D print this sort of stuff. So you might well be able to go ask them to make some more. But it's quite useful for not getting lube all over your fingers and hands when lubing, number one, lubing switches, but also when you're lubing the stabilizers, the plastics of the stabilizers even. Big Taro asks, is the hockey tape mod the same as the Band-Aid mod, or is it a different material? Same material, exactly the same material. It's just the fact that hockey tape comes in a much larger spool than Band-Aid stuff does, and it's also cheaper. I spent about £3 on all of it, and so it's far easier to cut a little bit off rather than wasting Band-Aids. I'm just going to get rid of the little bits of plastic there. So I don't think I'm going to need this because that was the ANSI layout one, and as this is going to be built in ISO, we should be all good. So where's my little brush? So I've got a bit of 205 grade 0 here. Ooh, here off to the side. Sports Direct, here I come. That makes sense. I'll look into it. I mean, I bought mine off of Amazon, and it was like £3 or £4. Just standard generic hockey tape. So for this, I'm using a bit of 205 grade 0. I've started using it in the past. You can use, I've got some dielectric grease, and I've also got some super lube on the way. But all I'm going to be doing is giving the inside, so if you can see, I'm just going to be giving the inside of the stabilizer housing a nice coating of lube. And what this is going to do is it's going to decrease the amount of friction, plastic on plastic friction there is. Hopefully reducing the overall sort of squeaky, horrid sound that you might get. Where did you get the switch holding thingy? The switch holding thingy is from some of the guys in MKUK. I believe it was Stocks that gave it to me, who is currently the admin of MKUK. So let me just get some lube on this. And hopefully be able to see the sort of consistency that I'm going for. So if I bring it back up, you can see that it's fairly well lubed. It's now got a sheen to it, and when the wire pops in, I'm going to put a little bit of lube on the wire as well. So for the stem, I'm just going to coat all 4 corners and the hole that goes through it with a little bit of lube. We can just use olive oil instead, right? Where, I mean, if you're adventurous enough, you can use olive oil. Anything that's really going to reduce friction will help. I wouldn't really suggest olive oil. I'd suggest a thicker sort of either something like a grade 0 or a grade 1 grease is good. I've used dielectric grease in the past. Pretty good. But 205 grade 0 is my currently my go-to. So we're just going to slide that in. Hi Zafri, how you doing? Yeah, I know, 50 viewers. Thank you all for coming and having a watch, guys. I'm not normally blessed with this many viewers, so thank you all for coming along. Obviously, if you do like my content, hit follow. I try and stream weekly. And if you don't like my content, obviously don't follow. But if you want to see more of what I've done, obviously I've got a YouTube channel, so go follow that. But guys, if you do have any questions at any time about the CU65, send them in chat. I'll try and answer them, and if not, we've got Caps Unlocked, the guy that's running this board currently, in chat as well, so he might well be able to answer the question. Oh, we've got a runner. We've got a runner. Just popped out there. Just going to relube it a little. Just rub that off with my finger there. Okay. Just set that there. Yeah, I'll follow the YouTube channel instead. Put your streams there. Yep. So every stream that I do, I put the VODs up onto my YouTube channel. Thanks KBD fans for the promo. I didn't know KBD fans had given me the promotion there. Yeah, if only Vogon, if only. I do like to thank everybody that's watching though. So once we've got this all lubed and good to go, I'll start doing the hockey tape mod parting of it. A mod that I do on every single board that I own. Something that I do think that like enhances the feel and the sound of the board. I've shown it off in the past, and I'm happy to show it off again because of this being hot swap, but the difference in sound, it's quite a dramatic difference, I'd say, sound difference wise, of sort of clacking plastics. Wasabies is watching me closely. Oh, Wasabies! I forgot to make your cat the picture for the follow. I completely forgot. Seeing as Vogon, you're here. Vogon, would you be able to create me a straw poll? And the two questions, the two that I want in there are T1s or Holy Pandas. Nope. Thank you, Mr. Marfig, for the sub on my my YouTube channel. I'm assuming it's one of you guys. I'm assuming. Sorry, Wasabi, sorry, I completely forgot. This is an underrated scene hobby, but that's okay. More for us. Yeah, exactly, exactly. So, out of interest, seeing there's quite a lot of you in here, what are you guys intending on building in your either your CU65s or your the CU80s that are going to be coming very soon? Oh, thank you, Brandy Namite. Thank you very much for the follow. What are you guys going to be, specifically Brandy Namite now, what are you going to be building in your CU65 or your CU80? I'm assuming you're going to be buying one. What's everybody's build plans? Always interested to know. Always interested to know. And is this people's first boards, second boards, or have you got a collection a bit like mine behind me, and it's going to be your 10th or 12th board or something? So Glacier's going to be building it with Gat Milky Yellows. Oh, nice choice. Milky Yellows are a very nice choice for linear. Gateron Yellows, lubed and filmed. Ooh, with GMK Wob. So you're going to get to see GMK Wob on it later. It's going to be a nice choice. Big Tower's putting creams. Creams are a great choice. The polycarb board back there has got creams in it as well. Are you going to be lubing and spring swapping those creams as well, or are you going stock creams? Mr. R1 of CU65, so waiting for R2. Tangerines eventually was the plan, but tangerines are a great choice. There's the moderator in here, Vogon, is a big fan of tangerines. Big fan of those tangerines. And he has just posted the straw poll in chat, so guys, go onto the straw poll, let me know what you want the CU65 second build to be built. I'm going to be building it with inks first. They're the only linears that I've got at the moment. And so, yeah, let me know what you want to see it being built with. Okay, so I'm just going to get some lube on this. Sorry, I'm going to catch up with some more of what you guys are building. So, what to see is going to be building it with alpacas, Durox stabs, and some sort of GMK keycaps. What GMK sets that have taken your fancy? Jonathan IO has some Xylants all ready to go for it. Very nice. Wasabi's says the KBD pad will be my first, so he's not even getting this, and he's here in chat. Milky says box pale blues and some random PBD caps set whilst he's waiting for better. That's a good choice. Good choice. It's definitely a hobby where you can build up to things. You don't have to rush straight in, and the CU65 is a great option to try some bits and pieces out, and it's also a really nice, really well built board, much better than I was expecting it to be, and very solid. Ratgaz is going to be using some Aqua Xylants, and that's very CU80. I'm a fan of the colour of those Aqua Xylants. Oh, just put this on upside down. Those Aqua Xylants do look pang. Big Towers, the CU80 is going to be his third board, so it's a good choice for a third board. What are your other two boards then, Big Tower, that you've got? Brandy Namite said, just ordered a KBD ATEX this morning. First big boy cube to replace my Razor. You're going to see a huge upgrade. You'll see a huge upgrade. I remember buying my Razor, what was it, Black Widow Tournament Edition. Black Widow? Was that Black Widow? Razor... Oh, It's not the Black Widow. I had the tournament edition board. I can't remember what it was now. It's been so long. I bought it out in America, and so it was ANSI layout, and it was a lovely board, and I thought it was great right up until I got my first proper mech. And then yeah, I went off it pretty quickly. So I'm trying to keep up with you guys here. Gat Yellow, Ski is going to be using Gat Yellow, lubed Gat Yellows with GMK Moto 2. Oh, I'm on the fence about getting GMK Moto 2. Wozabees is saying that he'd like to see a neither option for both. I'll be lubing creams with 205 grid 0, but I don't know. I don't have springs to swap. Have a look at Keygem. Keygem has some. I think they have some TX springs at the moment, which are a good choice for springs if you need to spring swap. Or if you can, try and get some Sprit. I'm always a big fan of Sprit springs. I've got them in most of my boards, and they reduce the overall ping of the switches quite nicely. 49 viewers using a viewbot, Matt. Hi Ben, how you doing? No. This is a first look of a very special board, and there's a lot of people that are very interested in it. He completely misunderstood the purpose of the poll. As for Caps, GMK 8008 or Boba Fett, yeah, they're both. 8008 is a nice one. If you can get it for the right sort of price, then it's going to be good. Yeah, Vogon says he'd add tangerines to it. To be fair, he's going to add tangerines to any combination of board that he can get hold of. Either tactiles, so Silent Jorok T1s, or Ghost Switches, the Jorok Linears, depending on what I end up liking more. So these are the Gateron, these are the inky housing Gateron inks, the black housing Gateron inks. I've got T1s over there, so you might be able to get a bit of a better idea on what you like the sound of when I do a typing test in a little bit. Sorry, I'm going to get on with lubing these. It is a skill and a half that some of these big Twitch streamers have, being able to communicate with their Twitch chat whilst building a board. Haven't decided on switches yet, but probably Kurashiro round 2. Kurashiro round 2 was something I was looking at. So I've seen it in person. It's a really nice set. Definitely interested in solid linears. Yeah, I've recommended somebody them the other day. I've always gone with Zeal for silent linears. So I had some of his Helios a little while ago. Really nice silent linears. Albeit I actually find that I like that thock that you get. And you don't really get that with a silent linear very much. Clearly says Huntsman. Yes, I think that might be what it was. It was like the Huntsman tournament edition. It was one of these ones that it was just green RGBs, and I believe it was blues, because this was literally just before they started making their own switches, or having their own switches made. The Razer orange and green switches. The GK61 with a wooden case with and a Keychron K2. Oh, nice. I looked at the Keychron K2 for a board for my wife. I got recommended it by Bruce from the Keyboard Co. We were chatting the other day, and he was saying about these Keychron K2s going like zipping out the door. He was getting them so fast and selling them so fast. Yeah, moving from gaming to custom mechanical keyboards is a game changer. Yeah, I mean, you get a better build quality, you get better sound, and realistically, I mean, gaming keyboards have got their place. They're great, but if you want something that's a little bit more robust, custom is the way to go. Yeah, unfortunately, there is no going back once you go custom. GK61 with lube silent sky silence and lube cherry stabs, band-aid modded, and the K2 has got stock gap rounds. The GK61 sounds pretty nice. I'm not sure about the gap runes. Can't stand the rattle of the stab. Tangerine, all the things. Yeah, I know how you are, Vogon. I know how you are. I'm a big fan of the Tangerine, so they've got a really good sound to them. The only thing that I'm not such a fan of is the stock springs that they come with. The stock springs are a bit eh. So I immediately swapped them out for some. I'm actually using some 72 gram progressive springs from Sprit as a bit of a change. I got into the group buy for 8,008, so it was a nice price. But forgot to get the oddities, so I can't use the future with Alice. Oof. Well, best of luck trying to buy it on the aftermarket for a decent price. Oh, you got some more coming. I don't have any more coming. I got mine from Alum KB, so and they were promised to Andy, unfortunately, so Andy got them. Alright guys, I'm going to be back in 2 seconds. My hands are kind of sticky from using the lube there, so I will be back in 2 seconds. I just need to make sure backspace, ISO enter, spacebar. That's all I should need for ISO. Alright guys, I'm going to be back in 2 seconds. I'm just going to wash my hands. Hi guys, and I'm back. So I'll just catch up with chat a little bit more. Are Tangerine's really worth it over a cheaper linear Gap Black, for example, if both are lubed? Are they really so much better? Against a lubed Gap Black, they're probably very similar on smoothness. The Tangerine is only going to be marginally smoother, but the sound is deeper. It's got a deeper sound to it overall. And if you like a deeper sound, then why not spend the little bit extra that it's going to cost? They are substantially more expensive if you can get them in group buy price. I bought mine from Alum KB and I paid, I want to say £40 for 100, something like that. And that's including shipping from I can't remember where they're from. I think it's part of Korea that it came from. Oh, Gooty's here. Gooty says, "Hey, my name is on the board." Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Your name is here. So this is Gooty, one of the guys that helped out with making this board. To be fair, any top level switch, as Vogon says, it is going to be a level of diminishing return. You're gonna find ever so slight nuances compared to say a Gap Black or something like that. So let me just find where I put hockey tape. Here it is. This is my reel of hockey tape that I have here. It's got some bits stuck to the side of it, but it doesn't matter so much. And I'm just going to grab a pair of clippers. I'd really like to try a higher end linear at some point. Is there any shops in Europe that sells tangerines, Moavs, alpacas or H1s? I believe that mykeyboards.eu has had them at some point, but I think probably your best route is if you are able to go to one of the many meetups either in the UK or Europe, and you're going to be able to find a board there that somebody has really loved and taken some time into building it up properly and lubing the switches nicely and just giving them the proper love that they need. And then you can at least get a decent idea on how the switch is going to sound after being lubed and everything like that. The K2 with Gap brands was my first, so didn't really know what I wanted yet. I mean, so some of the brands are not too bad. I mean, it all depends on what you want out of the board at the end of the day. Myself, I'm not much of a brands fan, if I'm honest. They just don't sound as good to me as something like, I don't know, like a Zelio or a T1. The Zelio or T1 sounds better to me. Oh, Guti's asking, lube sticky? Well, if it's 205 grade 0, yes, it'll be sticky. It's quite a thick lube, so hopefully they'll have Europe proxies for tangerines. Would love to see them available here. Yeah, I mean, they're a difficult switch to get hold of. They're going to be a little bit more difficult than normal, seeing as I believe TKC has got a exclusivity deal with them, so I don't know how soon you're going to be able to get hold of them. It might be a little bit tough to get hold of, but best of luck, best of luck. Oh yeah, Guti, yeah, it's only when I do a scene swap that it disappears and then reappears. So it's all good, it's all good. So Vogon, how is the T1s versus Holy Pandas straw poll going? Is it, if you could post it again for me. It's going to be a little bit before I do it, because realistically I'm going to build the linears into it first and then decide from there afterward. My keyboard sell Tangerine as a European reseller. Wrong switches. Oh, it's out of stock. Yeah, that was for the round 1 of the Tangerine V2s, I believe. TKC has now got a exclusivity deal on them, unfortunately, which does mean that you're going to have to get them. The exclusivity deal, albeit, is a bit of a weird one. You can get them shipped. You can still buy them from Alum KB, so there's no problem with doing it that way if you wanted to. But in the US and European markets, TKC has got it locked down. So what I'm doing here, guys, just to give you a little idea, I'm chopping little bits of this material out, and it's going to be very simple. All I'm doing is putting a little bit of hockey tape beneath the stabilizers, so it's not a plastic on plastic slap. that plastic on plastic slap is a really horrid sound, really high pitched sound. Hey, I'm Matt. I clip my stabs to remove the soft bottom out and then put hockey tape. There is no soft bottom out. This stuff is thin enough that it's not soft. It just gets rid of the horrid plastic on plastic sound, Gooty. I'll have you know. Sound is better without band-aid modding unless you're going for silence. I actually find that I prefer the sound with the band-aid mod in place. It's just less of a sort of a clacky sort of like. The only way that I can explain it is a quite a harsh plastic on plastic sound. Not something that I find too appealing, and this just gets rid of it, and it's super cheap. Sound is better without. Sorry, I just read that. Matt building for himself. No, so this isn't mine. Caps Unlocked has sent this over to me to show off to you guys and build on stream today. I believe that this is probably going to be his personal CU65. I believe this is. Caps, you're gonna have to tell me, but I believe that this is the what is the first finished prototype of the board. At least I believe so. Oh, I've got this in the wrong place. So the next part of this build process is going to be a bit alien to me, because he has said that I have to use O-rings in certain spots so that the PCB doesn't grind out to the case at all. So I'm going to build this, and if Caps is about, I'm going to probably need a little bit of help here. He's going to have to direct me a little bit. I'm going to take some guesses on what I've got to do. But I might need a little bit of help. So the Holy Pandas are winning currently. Ooh, okay. The Holy Pandas that I've got are really nice. If you guys want to hear the Holy Pandas, I have got a typing test of it. So if you hit !YouTube and go to typing tests, there is the Mech 27 that you see in front of you here, built with Holy Pandas. Sorry, I missed Grass Kate. If you're comfortable getting stuff from AliExpress, Durox sells their own linears. They just don't have any fancy colours. Yeah, I mean, I bought the T1s that I bought came directly from the Durox site. I believe that Prototypist is going to have some Durox stuff. I don't know if it's just going to be stabilizers or not, but there's going to be some bits and pieces there. Okay. That's sounding great to me. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this. I'm going to get my space cleared up a little bit. I'm going to need most of this now. We're going to get a couple of bits done here. So T1s are losing. Yeah. You guys got to vote if you want to hear T1s. Do vote, or otherwise you're going to be hearing Holy Pandas. To be fair, Holy Pandas do sound a little bit better than T1s, but I was interested to see if T1s were going to do well. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this. We're going to get the bottom piece. Sorry, the top piece, and we're going to slowly sort of wedge this in a little bit. It sort of slots into place a little bit. There we go. Sort of levers its way slowly into place. There we go. There we go. So that's the PCB in place. Okay, so now from what I understand, I have a bag of screws. You guys are gonna get something a lot more neater and tidier than I am. But I believe that the button head screws that I've got here are going to be the ones that are going to be used to. I've got to put these little rubber O-rings on, these little washers onto, and I believe what they are used for is for securing the PCB to the top case. So I've got to find where the points are. So there's a couple in the middle here. Not putting some switches and caps to test the PCB before screwing. No, I don't need to. I believe that Caps Unlocked has tested this out beforehand. Plus it's hot swap, so I should be okay. Should be okay just to build and go from there. But in any normal circumstance, for any of those who are actually getting this themselves, give it a test out beforehand. Make sure that everything is working okay. There's another one here. I'm going to put the switches in, then test later. That's going to be the test. So you're going to see me lifting up the board every now and again to check. So there's another one here. So I think for this, Caps has sent me way more screws and everything that I'm going to need. I've got an awful lot of them. Okay, is there any more standoffs that I need to do? So I've done these two, done this one. Is the one on the spacebar anyway? Okay, so there's one here on the spacebar. Wait a minute, are those KL hot swap sockets? Yes, they are. They are KL hot swap sockets. So there is going to be no soldering tonight. No soldering whatsoever tonight. I actually took the soldering iron out and I put it on my desk earlier just so that I could use it, and then I realised I don't have it. I'm not going to need it. Okay, I believe that's all of the... And there's one more up in the top left hand corner, and that's it. I believe. So the only reason that I'm putting these little rubber washers on is just so that if there is any shorting, that the rubber washers are going to sort of insulate it and stop it from doing anything silly like that, because there's an awful lot of points where it could be like metal on metal almost. Okay, so that is the that is the PCB built. So what we're just going to do quickly is I'm just going to test out the stabilized keys just to make sure that they're working okay. And as Wasabi says, yes, there is likely to be quite a lot of points where I might end up squishing some of the bits. So it's going to go in this one here. So I'm a flip spacebar guy. Sort of difficult to tell because it's on the desk how it is. Sounds pretty good to me. Welcome back. Where did you get the washers? So the washers come with the kit. The actual washers come with the kit. Caps includes them. And Wasabi's is going to attempt to make me dab. So Wasabi's, because this is hot swap, I am going to ask that you put your amount in now, but obviously do it slightly higher than you think it's going to be because it is hot swap and it is a lot easier to bend a pin. If you don't know, guys, I have a bet with Wasabi's. Wasabi's tells me exactly how many pins I'm going to bend, and if I get underneath that, he's going to send me a video of him dabbing. If however I get it wrong and I go over the amount that he says, I have to dab. So I think it's a pretty fair deal. So guys, how many pins do you think I might end up bending? Not that I should really end up bending any pins, to be fair. Is this UK ISO? Yes, I'm going to be building this in ISO UK today. The PCB itself supports both UK ISO and ANSI, but it also supports what would be a 7U bottom row or a 6.25U, and it also supports stepped and unstepped caps lock by default on this. And I'm going to be going for stepped caps lock on it. I've got to find the stepped caps lock somewhere. You're making the rules on the fly. I know, but I do. I'm going to agree that if I go over the 6 bent pins, that I will dab on stream. I think that's only fair. I think that's only fair. Sounds good. Sounds good. My face cam's looking a bit washed out. Oh, here you go. I'll let me just sort it out quickly. Exposure, video. Oh, probably even more washed out. Now I look orange. Now I look like Donald. Just need to turn the brightness down one. There you go. I've just turned it down a little bit. Oh, one thing that I haven't got turned on. I always love to have these on. I've got some... I'll just move over here a second. Turn on. Now, come on. Doesn't want to do it now. I bet I've done something to them and they're not turning on. Alright, I'll sort that out in a minute. For some reason it doesn't want to work. Okay, let me just take these off. What's the keycap set? The keycap set is going to be GMK white on black. A very classic set. This is the originative set. So one of my favourite key sets. It's normally on my Norbow, but I've decided to swap it about. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get this all on. So what was everybody else's? So Guti said 3, Vogon said 5. There was 4 in there. I mean, you guys don't have great hope for me, to be fair. You guys don't have great hope. I expected you guys to have more hope. Wasabi's, I was going to do the lewd command, but I was trying to get it so that it would rotate the pictures so that it could be like a bit more dynamic, so you'd get a different picture each time. But it wouldn't let me use the bot for it. So I was playing about with it. So all we're doing here now, guys, I'm just gonna, I've got the webcam view up. So all we're doing now is I'm just popping these switches in. The only way that I'm going to be able to know that I've bent a pin is if the key doesn't register in the switch tester. So white and black. Sorry, I'm just going to jump back. Did you just catch the pin 2? What do you mean? What do you mean catch the pin? I'm gonna have to make a definitely gonna have to make an emote for those who seem to think I'm gonna be bending pins all of the time. It will have to be the dab emote, I think. That is if you catch me. It's if you catch me. You don't want me to dab. I would just like to know. Hi James. I did notice James AKB had slid in here quietly, trying to sneak on in. The big old sneaky sneak that he is. I do not cheat a lot with the pins. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? To be fair, on that last build there was only half a bent pin, and it was right at the very top. So, and I counted that as a hold pin, and you still said 6. So the great part about this, guys, is when I'm building this, I'm not having to worry so much about putting a few switches here, a few switches there. The PCB is actually held in on these metal standoffs. And so you don't really have to worry about so much of, oh, is it flat? Is it all right? Thank you very much for the follow, Quacky. And James Burke, thank you very much for the follow on my YouTube. I get the little notifications on the corner here. This, as far as I'm aware, Wasabies, that's conspiracy theory talk. Conspiracy theory talk. I did no such thing. No such thing. No, I turned it down because the amount of times that I got scared last time. Are they cheaper than other GMK sets? What are you meaning? The like white on black? Sorry, half baked. I just saw it. Half baked, Jake. I just saw your question there. So the one great bit of this is the reason that I'm going to be doing 2 builds today. It is that hot swap is such an easy thing to use. I'm going to pop all of the switches out after I've built this, and I'm going to rebuild the whole board with a different set of switches. The board is looking great. Yes, it is. It is. I completely agree. So why do so many GMK sets have no ISO enter, but they have ISO enter, but never have the 3 pound sign? It's simply because of the fact, simply from the kitting. A lot of US vendors and stuff like that don't see the point in having it, and so it's normally taken out of base kits for cost saving measures. They want to be getting down to this $100 minimum sort of thing, and to get there. Exactly the reason why you see a lot of kits that are very stripped down, and you normally find ISO in secondary kits and bits and pieces like that. It's a bit of a shame, really. Oh, they keep doing rounds of GMK white and black. I'm considering cat refined. I mean, if you want to get something that has got a lot better sort of purchasing process, I would strongly suggest looking at cat. All kits within cat are made, no matter if one person buys it or 1,000 people buy it. All of the kits are made within cat. Because they're die subbed, it's much easier. Obviously, you don't get the durability, the same sort of durability that double shots get, like a GMK double shot, but you're paying significantly less for a base kit, but you're also you're getting everything that you want. A standard base kit is sometimes almost double the size of like a standard GMK base kit. Guti asks, what switches are going to be are going to stay in it? I believe the Gateron inks. So these are the Gateron inks that I got sent randomly, and I've decided to just use them, like place them into a build short term. They're going to come back out, but Holy Pandas are going to go in it. I think that Holy Pandas were winning. I haven't looked. More than likely. The Holy Pandas will stay in it for short term. But this will be going back to caps in bits. He's going to receive this back without any switches in it. This is only a sort of a review sample as such. Random inks. I want free inks. Yeah, I mean, so just so everybody knows, I received a random package with my name on it, with no other information. It didn't have a return address. It didn't have the company that it came from, anything like that, and it just had these inks in there. I have no idea who sent it. I can't get any of the details for it. And so I've got some Gateron inks, and so for today's build I thought, why don't I just put the Gateron inks into something, give them a little try out, and these are unlubed. These are unlubed inks, but the Holy Pandas have been lubed with 205 grade 0, and the T1s are lubed with 205 grade 0 as well. Yeah, I get stuff in the mail that I don't ask for. I mean, when it turned up, I thought, oh, a client of mine must have sent it in to get some switches lubed or be put into a build or something like that. And then I asked around and said, oh, who sent me all of these? Who sent me these Gateron inks and stuff? And everybody came back saying, not me. I haven't bought any Gateron inks. I haven't bought any. So we're almost there. So we've just got to sort out this bottom row. So the bottom row, I'm not sure what the layout of it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the spacebar, because I can start putting some caps onto this. what this is just going to be sorting out what the bottom row is going to look like. That's an Alt key. So I believe it's going to be 1.25 views here. But we're just going to check it out and see. I don't know if it's 1.25 there or not. Let's go 7U bottom row. Sorry, it's going to be a little late for the 7U bottom row, unfortunately, mate. So I think it's 1.25s here. So let's try the 1.25s out. Is it that way around? No. Other way around. Okay, that looks okay. That looks okay. So sorry, Royal Mail are going to come knocking on Monday. It wasn't Royal Mail, funnily enough. It was my Hermes that posted it through the door. There's a COVID-19 switch. Don't open them. Oh well, they're already in the board now. They're already in the board. I can't help it. I'm a sucker for free switches. Whew. That's beautiful sound. Okay, so that's sounding pretty good to me. Okay, so now it's just whether this is going to be a 1.25U as well. Just make sure that the pins are straight. So the only thing that you've got to be careful of, guys, when you're doing this is making just sure that the pins are nice and straight. Okay, it doesn't go in that one, it goes in the other one. Okay, that's going to be our bottom row. So pretty much the board is built at this point. So what I'm just going to do is, I know that I've got to move some of the switches around and stuff. So we're just going to flip her over. And I'm going to put the pad in place. So we've got the foam pad. Okay, that sits in there just nicely. So I'll just catch up with chat quickly. Why are you putting inks in now and not Holy Pandas straight away? I said that I was going to do inks first, so it's a nice linear build to begin with, and Holy Pandas are going to be second. Seeing as it's hot swap, I'm going to be able to pull the caps off, rip the switches up, put the Holy Pandas in, caps back on. So it should be a quite simple, quick process. Just wanted to try them out. So sorry, Wasbies, I missed a question that you had there earlier. Have you tried a GMMK board, Matt? If so, are the CU boards better quality? They look, I haven't looked at GMMK, but saw some here and there when learning about keyboards. So I have seen them. I don't own one myself, but there is plastic components on the GMMK boards, so they're a hybrid of metal and plastic. So it's using metal plates and folded bits of metal, and then plastic outer housings to hide the sort of seam lines. Whereas the CU boards are metal; they're metal outer shells. So you're getting a better build quality overall with them. So I'm going to remove this because it is in the wrong place, and I'm probably going to end up ripping up a lot of the stickiness of it. Apparently this is meant to go on the front edge rather than, so I'm going to put it here realistically, I don't have very much idea on where this should go. I'm going to go with here. I've been told that this is the right sort of place to put it. Okay, that's nowhere near straight. Okay, about there. About there. That's about right. Well, that's not right. Wibbly wobbly. Obviously, when this comes to it, I believe that Caps is going to put these on himself, so you're not going to get this horrible wibbly wobbly worm that I've managed to get there. Okay, so let's get some of these screwed in. So there's a bunch of countersunk screws here, and Caps has sent me a bunch of. Okay, sorry, it's got countersunk screw holes, and I've got a bunch of countersinkable screws. So let's put these in place. These don't need to be. These don't need to have anything put on them. Quarky asks, does the foam come as part of the kit? Yes, it does. It's been an addition from Caps Unlocked, I believe. If he's still watching, I believe the CU80 also comes with the foam included as well. Making me hype for round 2. Good to hear, good to hear. Make sure it's in the. Make sure you've got it in your calendar ready. There we go. That was just a bit tighter than the others. As you can see, he sent me a lot more screws than I need. Okay. So let's turn the board back over. Okay, so let's get some keycaps on here. I'm not going to use that caps lock key. I don't need the Windows key. North-facing switches and south-facing switches aren't really meant for keycap. GMK profile sets have other key without problem. Yeah, so you're only going to ever find you have a problem with when it's what is it? North-facing LEDs that are installed. Otherwise, you have no problem with it. It's the actual LED that hits rather than the switch. So for instance, these two keys up here in the top left hand corner, they're north facing LEDs. So is going to open the custom scene more for UK users due to ISO hot swap. I mean, so Zapri, this is ISO and ANSI in one board. I don't know if you saw at the beginning of the stream or were here at the beginning of the stream, but this is actually a dual layout board. Well, I say dual layout. there's actually more than one layout. So you have got, for those that are still watching and didn't know the layouts, so you've got ANSI, standard ANSI, standard ISO, you've got stepped and unstepped caps lock, you've got split backspace, you've also got different bottom rows, so you can go for a 7U bottom row if you want to, and this is all built into the PCB itself. True Ron asks, how's your typing game? My typing game isn't great, if I'm honest. Yeah, it's not great. I can type at about 70-ish words per minute. I'm likely to struggle with this board. I do not want to go on at all. I normally on a new board I normally fail pretty hard. So, all right. So the rules at the drop. I think, but I am at least curious because I'd like to think that north-facing LEDs LED is the most common. Well, the one from drop. Does that have normal LEDs on it? Because if it does, then I think you probably have problems. But if they're in-switch RGB LEDs, I think you're okay. I think. A little bit of dirt on that one there. Okay, in I've got a pile of keycaps next to me because I'm going to need the a smaller right shift and the stepped caps. Pink blush drop support for 2 and 3. If you're interested in keycap sets, have a look at Candy Keys' Instagram, as they have got the what is it, GMK Hammerhead, which comes with full UK support. They're also going to be doing GMK Posh, which again comes with full UK ISO support. They're going to do GMK Formula 1, which again, full UK ISO support, I believe. Okie dokie, let's see what we need. So we need a stepped caps lock. So there should be a stepped caps in here somewhere. And amongst all of these extra caps. Where is the stepped caps? Too big. Again, too big. Still ever so slightly too big. I think that's the one. That's your baby. I don't know where my stepped caps has gone to. There it is. Is that? No. Well, I've managed to lose my stepped caps lock somewhere, so we're going to have to go for standard caps lock, unfortunately. Oh no, wait. Caps lock. Ah, hey, there we go. Okay, that's looking good. So let's, I don't really know what to put down this side. Let's have a look what we're going to use. We'll put FN there. FN's not always a good one to put in. Delete is used quite a lot, I believe. Page up can go there, and delete. Page down. We'll go for this. It's not perfect, but alright, let's put them over there. So let's just give this a quick okay. Just clear away the screws. We're not going to need these now because I should be able to just pop the switches up as we need. Get this out of the way a little. Cool. So I'll just catch up. On the CU80, but honestly, I'm still confused with exactly north-facing interference means. But I'll do more research. So RATGAS, what that means is the switch is so. From my understanding, this is my understanding, this way is a south-facing switch. The LED, which would go in this little portion here, is facing south. North-facing is this way, so the LED is facing that way. Fairly easy, but the issue comes in when you install an LED into there, a little 3.5mm LED, is that on GMK caps, when you go down, it hits the LED first before getting past that. So you can't properly, like, fully depress the switch. That's the downside to a north or south face, well, a north facing LED. Okay, I'm just going to steal this. We're just going to bring switch hitter up. So let's. Oh, we've got no music. Let me just put some music on for you guys so you can have a listen to some music whilst I do this quickly. Yep, here we go. Here we go. So if it's 6, then I'll dab. Otherwise, no dab. Where's switch hitter? You guys see it? There we go. So I've been trying to fix this over and over and over, but it doesn't seem to want to work. But I'm going to change this to ISO 88 key. So it's some of the keys are going to pop up in different places because I don't know what's been assigned to this sort of right-hand row as such. So let's make it a bit smaller. I don't know what's going to pop up here, but we'll be able to see. So, oh, I'm moving the wrong thing out of the way. There we go. So these are Windows is there. Da, 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 da. So this is obviously doing the Windows key on the left, so it's assigned to the one on the left, which is fine. So I don't know what this one is assigned to. I'm assuming this is going to be assigned to function. So you can test it by pressing that and 1. If it wasn't assigned to anything properly, it wouldn't do anything. So this one, I don't know if the caps. Can you tell me what these ones are assigned to? I don't know what they're assigned to. See, that one's assigned to delete. I don't know what that one is assigned to. Or this one here. But backspace. So 4 is a bit of a dud. Tab also. G is a dud. And D as well. So I think there is a few that I've messed up here. So let's pull them up. So G is one. So let's see if we can fix G. Let's see if it's a bent pin. I don't know what the yeah, squished pin. So let's grab another switch and place it in its place. I could reflash it, Goots, but I don't have time. I don't have time to do it on stream. So that's G working. So D, let's see what's up with D. White and black looks stunning and minimal. Yep. 5 bent pins. Yeah, I'm not sure what these are. So 5 bent pins, and not sure what those are on the side. Oh, that one's an easy rebend. We'll swap it down actually. So that's D working. Oh, for CU 99. Hello. Could have prepped before stream. Yes, I could have. I could have prepped before stream. I only received the board yesterday, and I haven't had time today. Hindsight is always a winner, though. Albeit, I'm not actually going to use those keys in any typing tests, so it doesn't really matter. So this one is working. It's just this one tab that is not working. That's the last of the keys that I want to be able to use. I'm fairly sure it's page up and page down. I mean, I'll check to see if they're bent pins, but okay, let's have a look. But strangely, you've got delete in the middle, so normally you would see page up and page down next to one another. Now the pin, just to show Wasabies, the pins on that are completely fine. So no bent pins on that. So it's just an unassigned key, that's all. I've got to show him, because I'm on 5 and I don't want to be dabbing. Oh, arms. Come on. The keycap puller doesn't want to pull it up there. To be fair, these switches in this corner aren't going to be used. See, again, that one's not bent, so they're just unassigned. They're just completely unassigned. Or not at least. Okay, but so Wasabies. What can I say? You got 5. I got 5. 5 bent pins, not 6. So unlucky, mate. Unlucky. Vogon wins. Vogon wins. No, I thought Vogon said 3. Alright, let me put this off to the side for now. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to get a little wrist rest. And let's just get rid of switch hitter. Turn fastest fingers. Oh, thank you very much for the follow, Wickles93. Time for the SMR. Okay, so let me just get rid of that. I need to swap you guys to this screen and onto this one. Okay, so you now are on my secondary monitor here, so that I can see what's happening. Okay, and 10 fastest fingers needs to come up. There we go. So now you guys can see 10 fastest fingers. I'm going to bring the microphone down here. There we go. Where's my music? There we go. I haven't got the escape key there, but I prefer the look of the standard sort of what would be 60 rather than Zapri. I actually tried that. I've got this set up at the moment, so I'm going to try and swap over to Monkey Key because I have used it a couple of times. The switches aren't looped though. No, they aren't. Okay, you ready, guys? Sound all alright? So I'll do a click for you. .71 words per minute. Not bad. I made a few mistakes there, and I also started getting cramp on my little finger. Yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed that the little finger started straightening out there. Wasabi asks, sounds a little scratchy. That's probably down to the fact that they are stock switches. They're unlubed. They're unlubed switches, so you're going to have a little bit more scratch than normal. I'll give it one more typing test for you guys, so you guys can have a good hear. So I'll tap again. A little bit slow. I'm continuing to get a little bit of cramp in my little finger there. So Vogon says Holy Pandas win. Okay, so I'm gonna rebuild this in a minute with Holy Pandas. See what you guys think. Flump MK, yeah, you've come in at exactly the right moment to be able to have a listen to the beautiful typing test that was there. black compared to other switches you're putting on. Yeah, I mean, I haven't got any gap blacks with me. I have no gap blacks, so unfortunately I won't be able to try it. I'll be completely honest. It is a little scratchy, but that is because these are stock Gateron inks. If you were to put any sort of lube onto them, 205 grade 0, 3204, I mean even 10, like something like a 105, you're going to get that scratch level just disappear. It'll just be buttery smooth, and I think you're likely going to hear that when I use the Holy Pandas in a minute. What colour inks? These are black inks. These are just normal black inks like that. Shouldn't watch this stream, to be honest. I'm still month until the CU80 ships. I'm hoping I might be able to bend Caps Unlock's arm to be able to get a CU80 over here. I'd love to be able to build a CU80 on stream like I have now, and be able to build it. So I mean, if you guys bombard him enough, he might well be able to send me over CU80 for you guys to have a look at if you like. You meant compared to alpacas? Oh, I see. Okay. I haven't got any alpacas either. Hi back, Smudgara. I just got my GAT black silent inks, but the rest of my build not here until the end of the year. So I'd strongly suggest doing a little bit of lubing in that time. You can get some switch openers fairly easily, and it makes the switch really, really pop. Okay, I'm going to put the microphone back to where it was before. We're going to put the music back on, and I'm going to disassemble this whole board. We're going to take it apart, and we are going to put some Holy Pandas in, as I believe that's what's won. Is that right, Ratgaz? The Holy Pandas won, didn't it? The Holy Pandas. I can't type. It's going to be very, very different. They are two very different switches entirely. Are the Holy Pandas lubed? Yes, they are. They're lubed with 205 grade 0 on the rails. So I haven't tried to get rid of any of the tactility that you might get from them. Realistically, I wanted them to be as tactile as possible. I love the sound, and I love the feel of really super tactile switches. I mean, if you guys want to hear them in a bigger board, I did a typing test with them in this. Oh, sorry guys. You guys could see the thing there. Yeah, I think you might be right there, Ratgaz. I think you might be right. There's an awful lot of Holy Pandas. I mean, there was a big hype train for Holy Pandas back in the day, so it's sort of understandable, really. But this is the great thing about this board, is that it is very versatile. I'm now pulling up all of the keycaps, and I'm going to be able to swap the switches out to something completely different, and they're going to sound. It's going to sound entirely different. I could pull this whole board up and put clickies down as well, and in the space of about half hour, you've changed the overall sound profile and feel of the board entirely to what it was before. As Vogon says, and now for something completely different. You're not stuck to, I've soldered this in and now I have to use this layout. I have to use these switches. You've got that possibility of just saying, I don't like these switches anymore, ripping them up, selling them off, and putting some new switches down instead, trying things out. So for anybody that's on the fence about getting one of these, I would strongly suggest getting one. They're really well built. Not only that, they're a great board for somebody who's maybe not like that interested in like spending lots and lots of money, and they're not quite sure what they want, and people keep telling them go look at KBD fans and buy something from KBD fans, and they're not sure, should I do that, shouldn't I do that? This board is something that you can just try things out with and find what you like. And it's also not that expensive in comparison to other customs and like custom keyboards out there. It's not expensive. I mean, you look at the CU80. The CU80 coming in at £100, including VAT, isn't it? It's a really good price for what you're getting. Oh, thank you very much for the follow, Patch Cables. Sion says anything's cheap compared to a TGR Alice on RMM. Yeah, you are right, to be fair. They're expensive boards. Anything is cheap compared to the average of flipper prices. Yeah. Well, I mean, the way that you don't end up paying outrageous flipper prices is you join the group buys early, and I mean, you're going to have the opportunity to be able to join the CU65 and the CU80 group buys in the future. He is intending on running these again, so you've got that opportunity. Wassabies asks, when are you getting the kittens? They jump on the desk and mess up the nice order of the caps. Yeah, we're getting them next week. We're getting them next Saturday. They'll be 8 weeks old, and we're allowed to collect them at that point. So really looking forward to having our first pets in our house. So all I've got here is a little, it's an SMD puller tool, and all I'm doing is I'm putting it on either side of the switch. So if I get a switch out, all I'm doing is getting in at the top and the bottom of the switch, and there's like little tabs. I don't know if you can see the little tabs, the little tab here, and you push that in and it sort of delatches the switch. And so I'm just going to go around with this. I'm going to probably take up maybe half of them. Start putting some holy pandas down. Caps Unlocked will probably be able to answer this question, or maybe Gooty if they're in the chat still. But I believe, because this has dual layouts, oh, this one doesn't want to come up very easy. Because this has dual layouts, it means that the hex file that's installed on this is, I believe, also has the dual layouts, so you can swap between ANSI and ISO. This one does not want to come up. I just made it sound so easy and then ruined it entirely. This one just doesn't want to come up very easy. There we go. That's off to the side. Just going to open the window a second, guys. It's getting kind of warm in here. Thought you're getting. Gooty says thought you're getting a corgi. Yep, corgi is in the realm of possibilities further down the line. We've decided on kittens first. My wife works on a farm. The place that she works for has a office on a farm, and there was some farm cats. So that's going to go upside down. So I'm going to grab a few holy pandas here. True Ron asks, where are you located? I am from the south of England. The dirty south, as some might say. Oh, sorry guys, music has run out. Let me just find some more music for you guys. We'll go back to the original playlist. Patch Cable says, need to diffuse your light a bit, I reckon. Yeah, it's just the light that's coming down and in. I have got some LEDs that go in behind me, but unfortunately, those LEDs have just decided that they're not going to work this evening. So I'd normally have a little bit of backlighting at least, but nothing like that today for me, unfortunately. Interested to see how these are going to sound once they're in. These have been used before, and so these were installed on a different board. So, Ratgaz says, have to go guys. Thanks a bunch for the stream. We'll be sure to watch the rest later. Oh yeah, sure. If you guys are peacing out and leaving, use the command !YouTube and you'll be able to watch the rest of the VOD there. I'll be uploading that probably later this evening, something like that, once it's done. What's your opinion on the Mechanisk Fiel? I've never actually used the Fiel, so I wouldn't like to pass judgment too much, but it's from what I've heard, it's a really nice board, really solid, solidly made board, and it's been made with very good with acoustics in mind. So I don't think you can go wrong really with the Fiel. Is the CU65 still available? I believe that it is not. This is a group buy for it, and so the group buy is currently still running at the moment. I don't know if there is a slot swap that they're doing, but I believe that you're more than likely going to unfortunately have to wait for what would be round 2 to come round at this point to be able to join the group buy. There'll be limited extras and more rounds in the future. Yeah, I believe that he's intending on running this as like a very regular group buy. So if you are interested, please do follow the Discord. Caps, if you're there, can you post the Discord for me? And so the Discord that Caps is going to post will be the one that you want to go to be able to find out the newest information, as he keeps that relatively up to date. Oh, bloody hell. Thank you very much, Sweps84, for the follow. Hope you guys are all having a good Saturday then. Hope that everybody's Saturday hasn't been too busy and it's been filled with looking at keyboards and finding out new stuff and working out how you're going to spend it. Chulnuk UK Thank you very much for the follow. That one scared me. So that for those that don't know, I try to stream every Saturday from 7:30 p.m. I think it's GMT +1, so 7:30 p.m. my time. I try and stream a keyboard build. So next week we've got a KBD 8X to build, or it might be a KBD 8X, or it's going to be a rebuild of a customer's board with some T1s. Either way, we're going to have a build next Saturday, and there should be a build the Saturday after that as well. And then I've got a few other bits and pieces turning up for builds as well in the future after that. I'm hoping that my own board is going to be here soon-ish. So, and when I mean my own board, I mean one that I have designed and built myself, or gotten built myself. So, all for the future, all for the future. So these are drop Holy Pandas, which have been taken out of the taken apart, put through an ultrasonic cleaner, and then from there they have been lubed with 205 grade 0 on the rails, and they have had the springs lubed with GPL 106, I believe it was. Can't exactly remember what I lubed the springs with. Big Tarot asks, did you fix the screw height problem on the S? Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, it was quite an easy fix. It just involved what I'd stupidly done was I hadn't bothered to measure the actual height of the screws. And so I went off of the manufacturer spec, and the manufacturer spec said 1 mil. They ended up being 1.75 mil, so they were massively over spec. And so all I've had to do is do some counter boring on the opposite side, so on the base of it, which Salvin's going to be doing in future streams to fix the problem. Wasby's asked, why the cleaning? So these are round 1 drop Holy Pandas, and so the round 1 Holy Pandas, they were horribly lubed. And when I mean horribly lubed, I mean some had no lube on, some had they were dripping with lube, some were in the middle, some were right. And so to be able to get them anywhere near consistent, I ultrasonically cleaned all of the lube off of them first. That way I could get a better, more consistent feel across the board, which is a bit of a shame really when you're spending so much on a keyboard, like on switches, that they do a pretty horrid lube job. However, since then, all of the editions of Holy Pandas since then have been completely fine, so you shouldn't have a problem. I think that one is going to be a bit squished. Hopefully I'm not damaging any of these. No, that was fine. Only one of the Holy Pandas was a bit damaged there. Okay, I can put some caps on this in the meantime. Yeah, guys, Caps Unlocked has just posted the Discord link. So if you guys are interested in the projects that he's doing, or this project here, he's got a lot more information that you can go look at on his Discord. So please do go over there and have a look. He's got a lot of good information on there anyway. That sounded pretty good. So only one of the switches here has been a bit screwy, so hopefully the other ones are going to go in with some ease. Obviously, guys, if you do like the content that I'm doing at the moment, and you want to watch more of it, do hit follow, and you'll get notified when I go live. It does help me out. Gets me ever so closer to being an affiliated streamer, and it does also mean that I might be able to have icons and stream emotes and stuff like that in the future. So all stuff that I'd like to have on the stream in the future. Come on. This one seems kind of tight. Turn that one out in a minute. But it's caps lock, so it's not going to be that well used. Alright, I'm going to give it a second. I'm going to put some more of these on because I keep knocking them about. Hope you guys like that thock there. Oh, good to hear. Thank you very much, Tara. It's glad to know that you like the content at least. I like to try and keep it as chill as possible. Ooh, listen to that. Doing QWERTY backwards, that's brave. Yeah, I luckily I've got a board here that I can just reference quickly. After a while, you do get used to some of the stuff. I had a quiz once upon a time, like a pub quiz, And one of the questions was, what is the key that's next to U or whatever it is? And I was like, that's I. That's I. Like to the right of it. I mean, yeah, I got that question right in the pub quiz. Probably the only time that I've ever been any use in a pub quiz, to be fair. Yeah, it's nice. I'm new to custom keyboard things, and it's cool to watch how it works in real time and how you do it. Keep up the good work, man. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm glad that I can be helpful at the very least. They always say if you can't be good looking, at least be helpful. Guys, this is where you're meant to use the exclamation mark Matt as a QT command. No spelling of it there. There is actually a command for it. As vain as it's going to sound, there is actually a command for Matt as a QT. Okay, this key does not want to come out. Come on, come out now. Go home switch. There we go. Just in very, very tight. Now this one's going to be the same, isn't it? Just look at it. Are we talking about the same thing here, patch cables? There we go. I mean, with all of the COVID-19 stuff going about, I'm pretty sure that Caps or Not does not want me spitting on his keyboard. Okie dokie. Let's get some of this on now. So, Aiden, you can use the build exclamation mark build command, but I am using on this. These are drop holy pandas with which have been lubed with 205 grade 0. Earlier in the build, we used Gateron inks, so I built it up with some Gateron inks quickly. Because this is a hot swap board, it means that you can sort of jump in, jump out on what switches you want, really. So, done 2 builds tonight. So, normally it would take me this long to do one soldered build, but you guys have been able to see 2 hot swap builds. Okay, guys. Let's see how many switches work this time. Okay. So, where is... So there's switch hitter. So I'm just going to bring switch clear. So let's just go through them quickly. Okay, that's been good so far. So that one doesn't want to work. Neither of these. Oh, that one works now. Not sure what was up with the switch previously. This one still doesn't. So that's the Windows key on this side, Alt key, Windows key, Okay, so that's looking good. The only key that doesn't seem to be working is this one here, so let's just sort it out. But albeit not a key that is actually used in typing tests, so interesting. It's completely fine. Let's just make sure it just doesn't seem to like that switch. The pins are completely fine on it. I don't know if you guys can see that. Pins are completely fine. So just go over there for a minute. Just doesn't like the switch. No, that's not a good sign, is it? Why doesn't it not like it? It's 30 bent pins. There's been no bent pins on this one. Albeit, this key has decided that it's just going to not work. Interesting. I'll troubleshoot that after the stream. Kind of weird. Not working with either now. So one possibly broke the hot swap. I don't think so, because it wasn't bent out of shape at all. I will give it a check though, just to make sure that nothing wrong with it. Yeah, they can be lifted off sometimes, but what I'm hoping is that it's just going to be something silly, really. Yeah, I think it will be. There's nothing to worry about though. It just needs pushing back in place. I'll check that out in a little bit. Okay, let's turn this back off. Let's bring 10 fastest fingers up. Okay. Okay, I've managed to break it once again. Give me 1 second, guys. No. Done. Okay, let's show it. Okay, so that was the previous speed. So here we go, guys. I'm just going to bring this down here so you guys can hear it okay. So it's just off of screen. I'm going to stop my... Come on. I'm just going to stop my music a second. Okay. Here we go, guys. Patch cable says 76. He's highly hoping here. So here you go, guys. 1 second, guys. The caps lock is on, I think. No, just yeah. Caps lock is now off. Oh, timer started. Here we go. .68 words per minute, but there was so many errors in there. So many errors. So True Ron was the closest there with 69. Much faster than I thought it was, to be fair. I made a lot of errors there, a lot of errors. But what do you guys think of the sound overall? Do you think it was quite good? Aidan Montgomery, thank you very much for the follow, but also asks, that looks a nice compact keyboard. I'm just getting into custom mechanical keyboards and finding it hard to find a hot swap ISO. So this is hot swap ISO. This is the CU65, and there is also the CU80. And so the CU65 has got ANSI and ISO hot swaps built into it. It's a really well built PCB, really well thought out on like which way hot swap sockets need to go and stuff like that to be able to fit everything. But excuse me, but this has ISO and ANSI, and so really great board if you're looking for hot swap. The only downside to this is that it doesn't have RGB. I'd love to see RGB on this. The CU80 has got hot swap and RGB, but obviously the downside to having RGB is that it limits the amount that you can actually have layout wise, so it gets a little bit more difficult. So I'll do one more typing test, guys. So let's see if I can beat 68 words per minute. Okay, that's what I'm just knuckle cracking ASMR though. Okay, here we go, guys. .72 words per minute. Beating it, boys. Beating it. We're getting faster. There was still an awful lot of mistakes there, but yeah. Exactly. Exactly, patch cables. Boom. Yeah. So what I'll do is I'm going to push this back and I'm just going to give you a quick look around the board, because some of you have obviously turned up a little late. So let's have a look. I'm just going to turn the music back on as well for this. So this is the board itself. So you can see it's a really beautiful colour. The anodization finish on it is really nice. Oh, mic in shot. Sorry, guys. There we go. So this is GMK white and black. This is the originative GMK white and black as well. You can see the underside. There's a lot of fingerprints on it. I've got quite oily fingers, and obviously there's these marks on here from where the pad was. And so you can see USB-C connector there as well. USB-C is always a welcome addition. But overall, I'm really happy with the finish on this board. The board just sounds excellent. I think the pad underneath it is making a decent amount of sound change for it. I also think that the Ho Pandas probably really do help. If you aren't going to use switches, I would suggest thinking about lubing them or getting somebody to lube them. How's the side profile? I don't know if you can see that very well. It's got a really good side profile. I mean, the keycaps are sunken down into it so that you can't see the underside of the keycaps at all, which is really nice. a lot of boards, a lot of lower end boards, I should say, you find that you can always see just the bottom of the keycap. So see what everybody else is saying. Somebody else likes GMCO white and black. I see that. Can't wait to put Kurashiro on it. Yeah, Kurashiro is going to look good. How much do I have to donate to enter the giveaway? There is no giveaway unless Caps Unlocked is thinking about doing something. What plate did it come with? So this comes with a built-in plate. So this has an aluminium built-in plate as part of the case, which does help get rid of some of the vibrations a little bit. Buzzing about the next round for this board now. Yeah, I'm hoping that he's going to be able to run this board fairly soon because it's a very popular board, and I'm hoping that he might be able to even make more in the future. Putting jades into it. Sorry guys, it's getting to that sort of time of evening where I start yawning like nuts. Thinking about putting jades into it personally. Jades would sound really nice in this. I've got some box pinks and a board back here, and I'm a big fan of the box clickies. Nice gap around the connector. Wonder if it's possible to put cap it. Wonder if it's possible to cap it around the cable to stop bits getting in. I don't think you're ever going to get bits in there unless you're a really sloppy eater. I don't think you're going to get bits in there, sort of stuff bouncing off. Yeah, I think that's the only time that you're going to get that. I was almost sold on the board before the stream. Now I'll go for it. Yeah, I mean, the problem with these boards is that you're gonna probably find that people start flipping them on Met Market for a little bit more money. They're quite low cost. They're quite low cost boards, and so you're not going to have to spend a fortune being able to buy them in the first place. And joining the group buy, you're not going to have to wait loads and loads. There is a second round after the group buy ships, estimated around August. Yeah, so there you go. Not long to wait, to be fair, for a really nice board. So get involved on it, guys. Get involved on it. Some more will be made. Yep. Eating over keyboard too. Yeah, I know. I mean, I was thinking, like, to be able to get it into the USB connector at the back here, you have to be really sort of like eating it weirdly. But guys, that does bring me to the end of the stream. So I do want to just say thank you very much for watching the stream this evening. I've had a great time building this and trying some different switches out on it. I'm going to be putting a typing test of the Holy Pandas and the linears here up on there. I might even do the T1s for those that are interested in hearing the T1s, the lube T1s. I'm going to put the typing tests up onto YouTube. Thank you very much for Cockney Rhyming Jedi for the follow. So guys, if you have liked it, please do hit the follow button. It does help my stream out. I'm hopefully going to be in the future getting affiliated, so I might be able to get some emotes and stuff like that on here. But if you want to see more of the stuff that I've done in the past, hit !YouTube and you'll be able to get taken to my YouTube channel. On there I've got all my previous build streams, and I've got a bunch of typing tests, and after every build stream that I do, I add my a typing test on there from the board that was there. So there's going to be 2 typing tests for this. There's a typing test for this board, there's typing tests for all of these boards, all of the previous client builds. They're all up on my YouTube. And so I'm not going to be Periscopita. Will there be a VOD of this stream? Yes, there will be. All of the VODs from all of my previous streams are up on the YouTube channel, and this one's no exception to this one. It'll be up there. Please do go bombard Caps Unlocked and tell him that he needs to send me a CU80, and I will build it on stream for you all. Yeah, just go hammer at him. Go hammer at him. But I really do hope that you've enjoyed the build stream tonight, and and I hope to see you guys again soon. And thank you very much for the follows for the last couple of guys there, True Ron and Dark Fiber. Thank you very much for the follows. I hope you have a great Sunday, and have a good rest of your Saturday. See you later, guys.